Students, welcome to Percentage Module 2, Lesson 3, the last lesson of this module, finding percentage increase or decrease. Once again, calculators are allowed for this lesson. For this lesson, we are going to be looking at more problem sums in percentage and comparing how a number increases or decreases. We'll tackle some questions to give you an idea of what this topic is all about. Okay, let us define some of these expressions to help us comprehend this topic a lot better. What is an increase? When a number becomes more or bigger than it was originally, that's an increase. What is a decrease? When a number becomes less or smaller than it was originally. Okay, so if the number was initially 50 and it goes up to 75, it's an increase. If the number was 50 and it goes down to 25, that's a decrease. Okay, the objectives of this lesson are finding the percentage of increase and finding the percentage of decrease. Okay, so let's get into it. Alright students, let's look at question 1. Question 1 is this. Mr. Lee earned $2,800 a month in 2011. He received a promotion in 2012 and now earns $3,000 a month. By what percentage has Mr. Lee's monthly salary increased by? The first step is to find out how much Mr. Lee's salary has increased by. So that is step 1. Okay, he used to earn $2,800 in 2011. Now in 2012, it is $3,000. So the increase is $3,000 minus $2,800, which is equals to what? $200. Now you've got to express this increase as a fraction. And then you've got to multiply it by 100 so that you can get your final answer as a percentage. Now you've got to remember this one important thing. Any increase or decrease is always based on the original amount. Okay? So now step 2. What is the increase? The increase is $200. What is the original amount? It is $2,800. You've got to multiply this fraction by 100 to get your final answer. Now let's simplify this. You can simplify this. You can take out all the zeros, right? You can cancel away all the zeros. 28 is divisible by 4, and then you get 7. 200 divisible by 4, you get 50. Okay, I think we are both at the same place right now. Next stage is you get the answer is 50 over 7%. This is also the correct answer. When you convert it to become a mixed fraction, you get 7 and 1 over 7%. This is the increment that Mr. Lee received, and that is your final answer. Question 2, students. Petra spent a total of $250 in March. She spent a total of $185 in April. By what percentage did Petra's monthly spending decrease? Now the first step here is to find out how much lesser did Petra spend in April compared to March. So that is step 1. In March, she spent $250, and then you minus off $185, which is the amount she spent in April, and the difference is what? $65. Now to express this decrease as a fraction, you've got to multiply it by 100 to get your percentage. Okay, again, remember that any decrease or increase is always based on the original amount. So that is step 2. What's the decrease? So let's set it up first. The decrease is $65. What is the original amount it is based on? $250. And then you've got to multiply it by 100 to get the percentage, right? Because that's what the question is asking for. By what percentage? You do the mathematics and you get what? 26%. And that is your percent decrease. Well done. Question 3, students. This is the last question of lesson 3. During a preliminary test, Wei Long scored 64 marks, while Alex scored 8 marks more than Wei Long. However, during the final exam, Wei Long improved his marks by 25%, while Alex remained the same. Who scored more during the final exams and how much more? Alright students, the best way to do this is just go straight into step 1. We need to find out how much Wei Long scored. We know that any increase is based on the original amount. We know that already. So 100% is equals to 64. It is based on the original amount. 1% is equals to 64 over 100. What is the increase here? By 25%. So we need to base the final answer on 125%, which is equals to 64 over 100 multiplied by 125. And what is the answer you get? You get 80. So this is Wei Long's final examination scores. Now let's come to Alex. We know Alex's scores were the same in preliminary and final examination. So in preliminaries, he scored 8 marks more than Wei Long, which means this is 64. 64 was Wei Long's preliminary scores plus 8, which is equals to 72. Alex scored 72 for both preliminary and final examinations. Now we know Wei Long scored 80 and Alex scored 72. So who scored higher? Obviously Wei Long. By how much? That is step 3. Right? So Wei Long scored 80 minus 72, which is Alex's scores, and the difference is 8. So Wei Long scored 8 marks more than Alex, and that is your final answer. Okay, kids, repeat after me. Percentage.
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 Lesson 3.
Lesson 3.
Completed.
Completed.
Please do the quiz.
Please do the quiz.
And after that, go have a lot of fun.
Go have a lot of fun.
And go score!